to be no. There you go, in that lovely American voice. It's just started. So I think we've now got everybody, we've got some new participants just coming in to join us there. So, Kema, I'm going to talk a little bit more now about our Young Artist Collective and our Echo artists, the more experienced artists that work with us. This is a group of 16 to 30-year-olds that create their own very strong artistic practice with us. They have been still meeting all through lockdown, on Zoom when it's been locked down, but actually in the studio safely as well. They always give us a sense of new perspectives about life, despite facing their own life challenges. And we're absolutely delighted to create work with them and co-create. So the first piece you're actually going to hear is a collaboration between Nicole Davis and Tom Spence. And this is a particularly beautiful piece about being stronger together. And Nicole sent me a little paragraph about what she wanted the piece to be introduced as. She said, Tom and I wrote this song about finding a place where you feel wanted and safe. And despite difficulties you may be facing in life, that you feel like you have someone to turn to and to try new things and have new experiences and make memories together. She goes on to say, coming to Skimstone through Zoom and working with Tom, both on Zoom and in person, to create this song at such a difficult time in my own life has helped me to express feelings about being isolated in the pandemic, but actually knowing that there are others out there who do feel the same. And this includes the journeys, even more, of those who are refugees. She really wants the melody, and she references Peter's guitar playing here, to bring together her vision for the song about us actually all walking together. So we're now going to hear, this is Stronger Together, and this is by Nicole and Tom.
We all walk on this journey, never knowing what we'll see. There's so much unknown and many great feet. Take each day as it comes, whatever comes our way. Take each day as it comes, whatever comes our way. We're stronger together, we'll find our place. Make it through stormy weather, make each other feel safe. We cannot walk alone, like ships that are sailing, sent out on a river. Gotta hold our heads high and all stand together. Leave no stone uncovered, take your time. Trials and tribulations, hold on tight on this ride. Take each day as it comes, whatever comes our way. Take each day as it comes, whatever comes our way. We're stronger together, we'll find our place. Make it through stormy weather, make each other feel safe. We cannot walk alone. Every day is different, new things to discover. Everyone hurts, gotta help them recover. Take each day as it comes, whatever make each other feel safe. We cannot walk alone.
And for those of you who are on Zoom, there is Tom and Nicole working on that piece together.
Wow, I really enjoyed that piece. You know what really stuck out to me there was, we're stronger together. We'll make each other safe. We cannot walk alone. Well, what a beautiful song. I had the pleasure of meeting Tom and actually working with Nicole, but this is one of the first times I've heard her sing. What a beautiful voice.
Lovely voice,
amazing
isn't she?
lyrics as well. Like that was really, really, really touched me.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So Claire, where do we go next from here?
Well, let's have a look at our map again. And it looks like on our map here, so again, listeners on radio, we have a little animated map. I wonder if you can hear these footsteps. We're actually heading off to the camp. This is a really important location for us as we head over there, because we're now going to be meeting Samuel and Nikwatilai live from Accra in Ghana as we arrive at the camp. They've been working with people in the camp. And I'm just going to stop sharing for a second and go onto our Zoom. Wow, look at you all there. Wow. Fantastic. Can everybody give a wave? Oh, I do feel we've got suddenly a really big community with us, which is marvellous. Oh, really lovely. So, Samuel, I'm going to go to you first. And Samuel, tell us a little bit about this project that you were doing as part of our bigger We Cannot Walk Alone. Who are you working with? Tell us about the experience.
Okay, so just like the theme actually states, we cannot walk alone. So it's important that we look at those who are in those shoes. And so as part of the work, we have the absolute pleasure of going to the Liberian camp here in Ghana, Accra, to engage and interact and also get a feel and understanding of refugees living in Ghana. So Rejoice, who is a refugee from Liberia here in Ghana, took us around the camp. We also had another absolute pleasure of working with female sex workers here in Accra, Ghana, to try and relate the life as a female sex worker and also life of a refugee, to see whether there's a relation and also how to survive in their darkest moments and to really explore ways to actually not walk alone.
And we obviously met every week, didn't we? The whole team working on this project. And I think this is partly where, would you agree that actually Zoom and in some ways this pandemic's opened up a world for us to be co-collaborating more, regularly. And it was really exciting. And so we're going to go on this journey, aren't we, Nikwatilai, around the Libyan camp that Rejoice has taken us on. We're all going to go on that together. And then you've done a couple of music and a spoken word piece. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those, Nikwatilai?
Yes, of course. I want to tell you about spoken word. And this spoken word was also inspired by the workshop that we did with the two groups that Samuel just mentioned. And we wanted to kind of give a powerful voice against all the 3Ds that are associated with refugees, the disease, the disaster, all the Ds. So this particularly is highlighting the positives and the benefits that refugees bring to our communities as we share together and work together.
Fantastic. So we're now going to play the three pieces. We're going to walk around the camp first, the Liberian camp. Then we're going to hear the refugee song that the women made with you. And then we're going to hear your own piece that you scripted and performed together. So we're at the camp. Here we are with our partners in Accra in Ghana, and just this privilege of actually going on this journey with them. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Rejoice. You people are welcome to Liberia camp in Ghana here.
Hi, so Rejoice, thank you for welcoming us to the camp. My name is Samuel and my colleague is...
My name is Nikwatilai.
And then we are here just for you to tell us more about yourself and about life here in the camp. You are walking us through the camp. We are currently at the basketball courtyard. Please, do you remember the year you came to Ghana?
Okay, I came here 2010 with my uncle.
How was life here in Ghana at that time, if you're looking back?
For me, there it was very hard.
If you say hard, I'd like to ask, how hard was it for you?
Like, I'm just coming, my uncle was just coming here, so but things was very hard here.
From the time you first came here, and then now, has it changed or it's still the same?
The camp is changed because Liberians are going back. Some are going back to Liberia. So we are not plenty on camp here.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it means that a lot of the Liberians are going back.
Yes.
And now a lot more people here are Ghanaians.
Come, I was going to the school.
Okay.
Krida. You call the school Krida.
Kira.
Yes. It have Big Apple around there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm here with my sister, my senior sister and my junior sister.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have this, since we are celebrating International Refugee Day, do you have like a one message or two messages that you can share to the whole world to hear?
We are grateful with the Liberian here. We are grateful to Ghanaians hosting us here.
Okay.
We are very grateful for that. We are tell God thank you for that. So
Okay, we also thank you for giving us a nice hosting here in the camp.
okay.
And also that a lot of cultural things that Liberians have also, good things that Liberians have also brought to Ghana. We are also grateful to you. And we hope that one day we'll have Ghana-Liberia friendship
Yes.
that will be strengthened.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you very much for your time. We do really appreciate it, and we wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you.
Refugees are people like us. Refugees are not slaves. Refugees are people like us. It happens to all of us. Refugees, 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 refugees. Refugees are people like us. Refugees are not slaves. Refugees are people like us. It can happen to all of us. Refugees, 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 refugees. Refugees, 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 refugees. Refugees, some here in Niger. Refugees, some here in Mwa. Refugees, some here in Makoye. Refugees, some here in Kuwa. Refugees, 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 refugees. Refugees. Refugees, 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 refugees. Refugees, 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 refugees.
Refugees are not slaves. Then two of you can say,
So
they are people like us.
So we should start with refugees.
So we should
are not
start.
slaves.
So we start.
Refugees, 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 refugees. Go.
Refugees are people like us.
Refugees are not slaves.
So on radio, we're seeing a little bit of the process here where we can see the women in ownership of the song.
Refugees, refugees, refugees. Refugees are people like us.
Refugees are not slaves.
Refugees are people like us. It can happen to everybody.
And then all of you say, it can happen.
Fabulous. And now here is
These are the feet that stood a tyrant, ran from danger, fled as a migrant, and received as a stranger. These are the feet that crossed the border, dodged the soldier, navigated the ocean, torn asunder by the waves' motion, swam the Atlantic into the Mediterranean, and found in your midst. These are the feet that met other feet to touch the floor, listening to walkings, singing footsteps on a dancing feet, sharing emotions as they motion. These are the feet that needed peace, so they wandered a peace in the streets of the unknown. And these are the feet that stops the tears, empty the hurt, wipe the past, carry the future, switch the lamps, make the love, kill the hate, and unite at last.
Thank you so much to Samuel and to Nikotilai and the incredible work they've been doing in Accra. Kema.
Yeah, well, what I really enjoy as well is watching the process of that. You know, when he was working with the woman in the camp, them saying, you know, refugees are people like us. It can happen to anyone. And that's a really powerful message. And that poem there, done by Samuel, I really enjoyed that. And it just shows how powerful, you know, being a creative and doing something creative, you can really get a message across, and it's just so powerful. It's really touched me, that. And I think if anyone's got any other comments, you can put it in the chat so we can hear your thoughts. Or if you're listening in on radio, you can go on the website, which is www.skimstone.org.uk, and just share your thoughts on these beautiful pieces of work. I'm just so glad to be on this journey. I'm really amazed.
Well, and I also think there's something really beautiful about the fact that our photographer in residence, Kev Howard, actually worked with Samuel and Nikotilai over Zoom, didn't he, to capture some of those amazing images as well. There's a sort of photography masterclass going on as well as all the other work, which was brilliant to see. So I think we're going to leave the camp now. Shall we head off?
Yes, I would like to go to the beach because I think the sun's coming out now. I can see it.
Let's go to the beach. Let's head to the beach. So again, on radio, if you're with us, we are now taking our footsteps.
Yep, I'm taking my shoes off.
Oh, he's taking his shoes off. It must be hot. And we're going to head down to the beach. On our little map here, we have clouds drifting across, birds flying, and now we can hear the waves of the sea. Now, this takes us to some incredibly powerful work. I have been, just as we are seeing some more of Kev's images here, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about meeting Hadi, who we met last year through Friends of the Drop-In. And Hadi introduced us to Kurdish journalists, to Akko and to Shahu. It's become so difficult and dangerous for them to be reporting in areas of Kurdistan because of the hold in which has happened politically there, that they've had to come over to this country for their own lives. They've had to leave family and actually come to the UK. Akko's been with us since 2015 and Shahu has been with us a few months. Now, you know, remember, people have a very strong sense of career and craft and, most importantly, family. They've had to leave it all for their own safety. So we had conversations around, in some ways, the story that we wanted to try and explore. And we really looked at listening to the stories of the sea and our relationship to the sea. If you think about, you know, probably for us, the sea is a place to go and chill out and to have a bit of a, you know, we like to take our dogs and run along the side of the waves. But what is it if the sea has been one of the most perilous journeys that you've ever been on in order to survive? The film you're going to see does contain a few seconds worth of footage that some people might find upsetting around a journey across the sea. Please do know that you can contact us if so. But this is a film short that's been created by us. And we want it to take you to a place of hope, of where friendship, when as human beings, even in this pandemic, we're all experiencing loss in different ways, but we're also experiencing where the world is opening up and reaching out. So for those of you on radio, there's a chance for you to go back to the website and see this film at some point. But I want you to imagine really two young men in different places on this beach. One will look out to sea, the other is sitting just contemplating the sea, and you'll see that they have two very different experiences, flashbacks, and then somebody comes alongside them at the end. So make your own story if you're on radio. You will hear the soundtrack that's been created by Maddie and Hadi, and working with our musicians Simon and Peter. Go on your own journey at this point. And for those of you on Zoom, we really would like your comments after you have seen The Sea, Part 1. Yeah, that was the sea part 1. Kema.
Wow, that was very touching, you know. Just for a moment there, I was closing my eyes, listening to the music, and you can still hear that journey, you know, and it must be very difficult for a lot of these people who are refugees. You know, some have had to leave their family behind, or, you know, they weren't able to get to them, or, you know, there's so much going on, and it's such a difficult place, and all they want to be is in a place of safety, and they're having to leave what they knew.
And I think also politically, I think in
Yeah.
this particular case, absolutely, that the decision was made because, you know, as journalists, they want to report on this and their lives are at risk.
Yeah.
And again, I think we forget very much about, we still have a certain sense, although there's a very big debate here on the freedom of the press at the moment and democracy, and also the rise of social media, which actually takes away some of the journalists' truthful reporting and so on. So I really want to say how much I've learned from working with Shaho and Aku, and how much I enjoyed the journey. And I've got to say, listeners and also people joining us on Zoom, we did have some giggles as well. I'm going to just say something really quite light here, but it was so important because the dog didn't need any training. She's completely driven by food. And actually, we'd only needed to do one take to get the dog to run off to Aku with his chew in his hand. But no, it was a really powerful time we spent. And I also want to thank Kev again for documenting it so brilliantly. When you see these images to show the journey that we went on, Shahu working away on Premiere Pro. We'll have to work pretty quickly on this one. And I'd like to also show you the musicians as well. Here's Maddie composing with Hadi and Simon in the studio. The really beautiful piece, I think, that works so well with the film. So listeners, if you're hearing, we had Maddie Smythe on violin and viola, Hadi on piano, and Peter was supporting there with guitar, and mixed by Simon. So we're going to just give a little wave again as we look to our audience. Let's go back into our Zoom for a minute and see who's there. Hi, everyone. Let's see who we can see you. Wow, look at this. Loads of people smiling. Fantastic. Great to have you with us. And also listeners on Zoom, give a little wave from you as well. It's really great to actually have you with us. So if you've just joined us, we are actually going to continue with our map now. And if anybody would like to give any comments, I can see them already flooding in, actually. Can you there on the chat? It's very touching and moving. It's a very lovely moving piece. Water is so universal. Somebody has put there. Paul, thank you for that, Paul. And again, we've got a comment there from Kev. It was so powerful, and the music and the visual narrative was so powerful, which I know you captured so well. What was it like? Because I know you worked a bit with Kev as well, Kema. While I get the map up again, it's almost like we don't know he's even there, is it?
Yeah, I loved working with Kev. I'm really fascinated with how he's able to catch, you know, pivotal moments when you're working together. He can catch the process, what we're doing, and it's almost like his photos have like a lot of personality. I was really, really impressed with his work, and I'd love to work with him again.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to now, well, let's go somewhere else. Where are we going to, we're heading off now. Can you hear the footsteps, listeners? Where are we going now, Kema?
Right, I think we should head over to the city.
Oh, okay, to the beach. Well, we've just been to the beach, so I actually think we probably need to go somewhere else.
Yep, the city, I think we should definitely go to the city.
We're a bit further on the script there,
Yes,
Keva.
we are.
It's fine. So, yes, we're going to the city. Here's some pictures again from Kev of the city that we have now arrived at. Now, these pieces we're going to describe for you now at the city. Again, some really beautiful work here. The first piece is called Lonely Soul, and it's by one of our Artists Collective members, Harry Thompson. The script is from Joe Hodgson, and the mixing is from our associate musician, John Pope. And this is a collaborative piece about sound and how different sound must be for refugees or people arriving in a new culture in a new city. We talk very much about the sort of visuals and maybe the smells and so on, but how does sound almost like dislocate yourself from a space? And for those of us who haven't really experienced the depth of this conflict, how is it that sound gives us some sense of safety that we can share? So here is The Lonely Soul.
Caged, jingle, jungle, onomatopoeia, near, far, journey, steps, walking, talking, talk, engine, steel, wheel, turning.
When we hear a sound, we think of a word, defined by and describing the action. But between contexts, meanings get blurred. Effects vary from faction to faction.
Coins, money, cold hard cash, ash, fire, water on land, key unlock, block unlock, released, free, taking a stand.
Snap, crackle, pop. Is that breakfast I heard? Or breaking bones, violence, serial murder? Sibilance soothes while plausivity panics. And prayers mistranslated may twist satanic.
Water, drip, drop, height, fight or flight, guns cocking, rolling, rumble, tumble, acrobatic, static, electric, shocking.
Consider the refugees' unique perspective, those defecting from circumstances defective. Everything changed, broken, their whole world marred, families shattered, each person just a shard.
Flurry, hurry, worrying weather, knocking, flocking, migrating in together.
This is happening now. It's real, live, no rehearsal. But although sounds have contexts, empathy's universal. Be kind. Have love. A friendship can be home. And always remember, we cannot walk alone.
It's very visceral, that, isn't it? Very visceral. Really strong piece. And I think that whole thing about where it takes us into that, the universal, you know, I'm even thinking about the door knocking at the end, Kema, you know, for some people that's the worst nightmare, but for others it's that somebody is calling, a friend is calling. Let's go now to Byker.
Yes.
You have been working on the Byker estate. For those of you who don't know, the Byker estate is an estate here in Newcastle upon Tyne. It has a very, very mixed story to it, and very sometimes the way in which it's reported is very mixed. We love being on that estate because we've got to know people very deeply, haven't we?
Yes.
But I know that there are different communities there. Some refugee communities also live alongside long-term residents. Tell us a bit about who you've been working with and the story of Byker for this project, Kema.
Yeah, so I've been working at the moment with Stephen and Loretta. I've known them for about a couple of years now. We've created a lot of pieces. We've done spoken word, we've done songs, and a lot of it, it's just been an amazing experience, you know, having that collaborative energy and vibe, and just bringing these great songs and pieces together. And the thing I want to talk about is Loretta's piece. This was about her journey, because what she likes to do is to go on walks. And I know Loretta's probably in the Zoom, so I'll just give a quick wave to Loretta here.
To Loretta.
Yeah, so her story is about, she loves to go on walks, but as she's going on these journeys, she takes everything in, what's around her, you know, the air, the trees, the animals. If she passes by someone, she loves to talk to them. And her story is about, you know, sometimes when we're walking on our own, we're actually never really alone. And in this process, it was just getting her story, and she kind of directed me in what she wanted to say. And then I put down some vocals, And you know what? I want to let Loretta introduce this song herself, which we're about to hear now, and it is called "Walk with Me."
My name's Loretta. I have done a song of walking alone. The name of the song is "Walk with Me." The song is about walking alone and being on a journey, like as if I'm on my own, but I'm not alone. And I've been working with Kema and Peter and Joe. I've fully enjoyed it. Here's my song, "Walk with Me."
I get up and leave my house to go on my journey, with no destination. I let my heart take me to distract my memory and thoughts. I let my feet lead the way. Thinking about my family and loved ones. I hope they're okay. I hear some music, it's my brother's favorite song. He's letting me know he's here though he's gone. Walking along the river, the flow keeps me calm. I see a rainbow after breaking of a storm. Walk with me through every fire in the land. Walk through the good and walk through the bad. Take my hand and I'll show you the way. There are so many things we can do today. Whether it be happy, whether it be sad, I'll help you through things good or bad. Whether it be happy, whether it be sad, I'll help you through things good or bad. One step at the time, one step beyond. One step forward, creating a bond. A friendship made of all different kinds. Nature, music, people, these are the signs. The time of love is close at hand. Let's come together, united we stand. Through all the drama, these days will pass. Pushing myself so I don't go back. Walk with me through every fire in the land. Walk through the good and walk through the bad. Take my hand and I'll show you the way. There are so many things we can do today. Whether it be happy, whether it be sad, I'll help you through things good or bad. Whether it be happy, whether it be sad, I'll help you through things good or bad. Step by step, side by side, walk through the land and take my hand. Step by step, side by side, together we don't need to hide. Walk with me through every fire in the land. Walk through the good and walk through the bad. Take my hand and I'll show you the way. There are so many things we can do today. Whether it be happy, whether it be sad, I'll help you through things good or bad. Whether it be happy, whether it be sad, I'll help you through things good or bad. Whether it be happy, whether it be sad, I'll help you through things good or bad. Whether it be happy, whether it be sad, I'll help you through things good or bad.
Oh, that is such a, actually it's one of those songs actually has a different sort of warning because you find yourself singing it a lot, you know, that refrain going on, particularly at night when you can't sleep actually, but in a lovely way. These are some of Kev's pictures that he's captured again, those lovely moments. Here is Loretta crafting out her lyrics, which is brilliant. And I know this was when you were looking at when she was directing you about a sort of form of recording. And I mean, half the time you didn't even know Kev was there taking these, did you? But this is your space, isn't it? Where our space where we can go to work in the cafe because it's quite socially distanced, isn't it, and safe. But it's right in the heart of Byker. And I think probably what we should do now is let's get a little bit from the audience now. We're going to give you a chance to. I don't know if you'd like to, and just invite you to say something, to give a little wave. Anything that you're feeling at this point, anything anybody would like to say, wave your hand, hang on a second, like that, and we will ask you to unmute. And if you want to say anything at all, anybody want to comment at this point? Can I see any hands waving? Oh, we're all just doing lots of smiles. Is what we're doing. Oh no, there's a hand. Fantastic. So hello, can I call you Margaret? Is that all right? Margaret, can you unmute, Margaret? Lovely. So Margaret's coming to join us. She gave a little wave there. Hello, Margaret. Nice to meet you.
Hello, I'm Arthur's mother, and
great.
He's appearing at some point. I'm amazed at the standard, the quality, the wonderful music, the musicianship, the wordsmithness. It's really marvelous, and I hope you can use these songs elsewhere, even to get them, other radio stations interested and things in Newcastle, because they're really moving, and I know a lot of blood, sweat and tears have gone into them, and they are very, very powerful. So well done. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Margaret. That's really encouraging, actually. And we're actually very proud of the piece that Arthur's been involved with as well, which we're going to be playing. Actually, it's next. So that's a fantastic DJ link in there.
Yeah.
Unless I just double check there aren't any more waves. What I would like to do is, Loretta, would you just wave for us? Because you've been so committed to this project and you've been through your own loss. And I just want to really respect the way in which you've helped. And I know Kema always looks forward to coming to Byker and working with you, and also with Joe and Peter. So let us now move on. Where haven't we been on our map?
Right. I think we haven't been to a house and maybe sit on a doorstep.
Yeah, shall we do that? I'm just going to, sorry, it looks like we're speeding around the map now, which we are a little bit. But yes, we are. So actually those birds have sped up across the map now. And do you know, it's funny because we've got swifts, that come and they travel thousands of miles. And I'm always incredulous at how they come here every year, despite being under threat themselves. So here we are now, we're walking to a doorstep. Now, think again about doorstep for your lives, or threshold, or the entrance to home. What does it really mean to have a home, or to find a place that you've now got to call your home? Again, something that's been very thought-provoking in this particular project. Now, the artist I'm going to introduce you to next is called Arthur. And Arthur is very interested in the news. And he has brought a very compassionate response to his really deep concern that happens for people we talked a lot about people in China, what's happening there with the Uyghur people in these dreadful camps, and how the world should be taking a much more proactive act against the Chinese authorities. And we talked about other conflicts as well across the world. So Arthur and I worked a little bit together on this spoken word, and then he worked with Simon, another of our associate artist musicians, to create something with samples that really spoke about his concern and what does a fresh start really mean. So here is Arthur and A Fresh Start.
Stress, living on the run, starvation, work so hard, despair, family, weird numbness. When I see them again, they suffer. Wherever I go, fresh start again. Not my choice. New place, pressure, different feeling, and emptiness, sickness, despair. I know where I am. What am I going through? My side, safe. Fear of government, authoritarians and totalitarians, those enforcing the law can harm you. Hopelessness, wretchedness. One small step gets you into trouble or worse. in another country, new culture, staying here, living here, accept it, false identity, whole new place, culture, but just you, no one else.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow,
Mm.
that was really, really powerful. You know, I had the pleasure to meet Arthur briefly in rehearsals, and I remember watching him really shape the piece. And what I really like about that is how he delivered every word. You know, it had intention, and he really got that story across. That was beautifully
Absolutely.
done. Beautifully done.
Yeah, and again, I feel it was out of respect, you know, for the way in which Skimstone Arts works. We always want the very best, the artistic integrity. It was great to hear Margaret talk a bit earlier about the way that we strive as, you know, as professional artists to co-create in that professional way, and actually what we learn as well through co-creating. And that was, I think, the third take that Arthur gave us that sense of it being really internalized emotion that he brought out. So yeah, very proud of that piece. So we're now going to take you on a different sort of journey. We're going to be listening from somebody who actually worked in some of the refugee camps. Through our Bosnian friend, Smajo Bezo, we met Chadni. Now, Chadni is somebody who has spent many times in the different camps, as I say, across the world. And we met up a couple of weeks ago for her to tell me a bit about the Palestinian camp and just her experiences of it. There is a little bit in here again that some listeners and audiences might find very difficult, and please do get in touch with us if you do need support afterwards. Claire at skimstone.org.uk if you'd like to email us. Our numbers are also on the website if people do feel they need more immediate response. But I learned a lot from listening to Chadni's stories, and particularly the message at the end. So I'm now going to play Chadni.
So my name's Chandni, and I'm from Newcastle, but I've travelled around camps in the Middle East and in Africa and Tanzania, and I'm here to tell Claire about my experience working in the most recent camps I went to in 2019, which were the Palestinian camps of Lebanon. So those particular camps are quite unique because they've been there for 73 years. After the creation of Israel and Palestine, when 800,000 Palestinians were made refugees, thousands of these refugees ended up in Lebanon, and those camps were only had funding to exist for 3 years. But because the Palestinians have been prohibited from returning to Palestine, they've actually been there for 73 years now. So these camps are suffering from chronic underfunding, along with an expansion of residents, because the people who live in these camps can't actually leave. It's more like a prison. In terms of the camps, there's very little by way of assistance. There's no electricity. There's raw sewage, which actually run through the camps, particularly on wet days. Because the camps are so contained into one area, and the residents have been expanding over the 70 years or so, they've been forced to build upwards. So there's a lot of collapsed buildings where the refugees within these camps, it has been known that they'll be crushed in these buildings. There's lots of cases of children being electrocuted by the overhanging wires, which is really sad. The residents in the camps there are mainly from Palestine, but 20% of them now are from Syria because of the Syrian war. Many of the Syrians travelled to these camps and they've just ended up taking up residence there. 1/3 of the residents in the camps are children. So you have to remember, in these camps it's generational, because these Palestinians can't leave the camps. They end up having entire families there. So you'll often find up to 4 or 5 generations of Palestinian refugees living in one room. The other really sad thing about the camps is because they're so enclosed and they've had to build upwards, there's a lack of daylight and vitamin D. So there's lots of really preventable illnesses that the residents have: skin disorders, vitamin D deficiencies, bone disorders, and it's so obvious by looking at the faces of these camps just how ill they actually are from basically living their entire lives in these camps. Okay, from my experiences from travelling through camps, I would like the world to know that it could have happened to any of us. these people just ended up in these camps because of circumstance, because of where they were when these particular incidents happened. You know, when these particular civil wars or incidents or conflicts started, it just so happened that these people were in the wrong time at the wrong place, and it's extremely unfortunate that it impacts the children the most. So something called generational trauma, which was really prominent, particularly in the camps in Lebanon, where their parents and grandparents had experienced so much by way of war and conflict and living in camps, that it had actually impacted the children. And they were showing a lot of their trauma through drawings, through speech, and they were so upsetting to see, because many of the children were so young, too young to know what war or conflict or bloodshed or murder or slaughter or genocide is, but they were able to portray their parents' trauma by way of drawings and speech and even mental illnesses as well.
So, thinking about the people who are going to listen to this in our event, what is it then that you feel you want to change in that?
People's attitudes of asylum seekers and refugees. They're just human like the rest of us, and all they want which anybody would want, is a fair start at life. These people have suffered so much. They've seen death and destruction. They've lost loved ones. Many of the people in these camps, particularly the ones who were made refugees from Palestine in 1967, they were working as doctors, as lawyers, and they've had to literally leave everything and come back and just live as almost as prisoners in a prison cell with no access to, you know, clean water, something which we take for granted, electricity, another thing which we take for granted, and that's the other thing. Don't take things for granted.
Wow, I think it's so devastating to see the living conditions these people are living through and what they have to go through. And I think, you know, Chandi, I really respect that she's actually sharing what she's seen, which is, you know, spreading awareness and changing people's attitudes on refugees. And one thing she speaks about near the end, talking about not taking things for granted, is something I think we all need to think about. And on that note, it also leads me to the next person I do want to introduce, which is Stephen. And I've been working with him in Byker for a long time, and we've had various chats about not taking things for granted and kind of his own journey and his battle with cancer and how he's able to still be really positive. And when we were creating this piece, he spoke about, you know, initially he was looking for kind of help, but he ended up helping other people, sharing his story, sharing his journey, and, you know, making people laugh. And he's always found a way to take each day as it comes, as he says. And we created this piece, and it was about his journey and his perspective on what it means to not walk alone and the importance of being together. And I'll let him introduce it himself. So here's Stephen.
Here's Stephen. It's coming up now. Stephen Office from Byker.
Hello, my name is Stephen. I've been working with Skimstone Arts, and I put a piece together called Climbing the Mountain. It's about you're not on your own through this epidemic. You're not only in life itself, there's people around you that actually care how you get through life. I work with Kema, Peter, they've put their tuppence worth in. When you feel like you're alone, there's always somebody up there that cares. Because sometimes the things in life throw at you, you can't always be prepared. Life's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. When you share them, you share the burden with people you've met. Ask for help when you need it. No one should walk alone. Home is where you make it, so you're not on your own. Sometimes to climb the mountain, you have to start from the ground. it's not always about the major things, it comes to the little things that count. But you've got to overcome to get where you want to be in life. Many soldiers make an army of love to get through strife. What do we all hope for at the end of our journey? Harmony, sanctuary, that we are all worthy. We all have responsibilities for one another. In the Lord's eyes, we are all sisters and brothers.
Yeah, I really love some of the lyrics, well, all the lyrics, but particular ones in that stand up for me is, in order to climb the mountain, you have to start from the ground. You know, everyone talks about climb the mountain and climb every mountain, climbing, but it really struck me, yeah, we have to start from the ground or even sometimes further back. And in these great images that we're seeing in front of us now that Kev's taken, you know, we can really see the relationship that you Kema had, and also with Stephen and Loretta and other Byker residents as well there. I think it's important to say that actually Stephen Office is an incredible co-creator. He's also incredibly cheeky. And if I pop in, I'm often called the part-timer, which clearly I was there because I popped in to see how things were going. I think you were late, weren't you? You were
yes,
saying...
I was 3 minutes late, and he was like, "Oh, part-timer, that's your name now." So you always have to be on your toes with Stephen, but he's a great guy. You know, he's got a great sense of humor, and he's just filled with positive energy. So it's a pleasure to work with him.
And he supports a lot at the local food bank as well. So, well, we're going to keep a little bit on this positive note now, because we've just had a little call from a very special place also in the city. And this is the Bostey. The Bostey is a youth centre in Walker, which is an area of Newcastle, again, that often is described as being very much to do with poverty and people being marginalised and so on. There's a lot of warmth in Walker as well. Now, the Bostey supports young people and children from all of that area. And Joe has been working with the animator Cheryl, our animator who did these beautiful maps for us, to create a very special piece called From Here to There. And it's a collection of animated work by the children and the young people at the Bostey that explores themes of walking, trails, journeys, and actually supporting our fellow travellers. So here's a very sort of light-hearted, but also very meaningful portrayal from the children and young people. And again, on radio, you'll get a really sense of playfulness through the music that's created as well. So stay with us for the next sort of couple of minutes as we hear from the Bostey. And I think the children are actually going to introduce this little particular piece themselves. We're just going to head over there. Look, we've already been on this map. It's because we're going back to the city, isn't it? There we go, look. There we go, heading back over to the city. Here we go with the bare feet, and there was a bootleg footprint in there. Here we go.
Skimstone Arts, we cannot walk alone project. Over at the Bostey, we were working on animation based on themes of journeys, walking, trails, and supporting one another.
So we're seeing here animated lyrics and signs saying from here to there on a bus stop. And we are seeing crayons and pens notating we cannot walk alone. And now we've got I went on a walk. I had a little talk. All these beautiful, that time flew by. A laugh with my friends.
Yeah, I really like the music as well.
We're all moving, can't keep still, can you? We've got footfalls again around different places in Byker, and home for some people is in a block of flats, for some near, and feel safe next to a park bench.
Leave, stay. Wow. Family. Yeah, that's very important.
Lost. Found. Making new friends.
My hometown.
Food from home.
Seaside family. Oh, this one's really cool.
Imagine it together. This is the together bit. Wow. So all these different feet and shoes. And I think Joe has a story where Cheryl was just getting random people passing and saying, I'd like to photograph your shoes.
Yeah.
All these different pairs of feet. There we go. Walking along a pavement now.
What I like about this is it makes me feel like I'm the one actually walking, watching the video.
Animations of people going around a seat, a bench. And as Kema says, we're off on the walk again along the pavement. Oh, animating objects here. There we go. Ooh. A dog and cat playing football. The cat's just stolen the football there. I'm not sure that would happen in our household, but beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, what's happening now? Somebody playing football here. Again, a universal game in lots of ways, actually. Wow, look at this. Have you ever done animation,
I haven't. I actually haven't.
I'd love to have a go. I have a lot of patience, I think.
Yeah, it looks very complicated because it's literally just like pictures, but then moving it each time.
Tiny bit, isn't it? Tiny bit.
Yes, tiny little bit.
Yeah. Oh, wow. We've got now a dandelion clock and somebody's just blown it and it's just...
I used to do that so much when I was younger. I used to pick them up and blow them every time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we've got "We Cannot Walk Alone" again as the sign with a very beautiful green frog here. And then coming to the end now. Yeah.
Oh, they got that in slow motion. That's really cool.
Isn't it? So the soundtrack is Electric Car Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. And that was the Bostey. We Cannot Walk Alone. Now, actually, there's some beautiful images here as well of there's Cheryl working with a young person. And in the next image, we're going to see Joe, who's also been working with Shelter Supporter as Assistant Project Manager. And Joe, I think you're with us. We're going to just go live to Joe. Just hello to the audience again. Everyone's still with us, which is really nice. Give a wave again so we can see you all. And let's go and find Joe in all these people.
I'm over here.
I've got no idea where you are, Joe. Oh, there you are. Yes.
There I am.
Go on, Joe. Tell us just a few lines about what it was like to work at the Bostey with Cheryl.
Well, it was incredible. It was incredible, first of all, to work with Cheryl because she's such an incredible artist, but also all the children I was able to work with at the Bostey, they were really, really, they were just so passionate and just so excited to get to work on this project. And it was also, at first we thought it might be quite difficult to sort of get them to understand what the project was about We Cannot Walk Alone, about these things that refugees have to go through. But then we realized that, you know, these kids are going through a tough time as well at the moment through the pandemic, and they're having some really tough times. Some of them may feel alone. So we were able to ask them, you know, how have there been times where you felt alone? And we even spoke to a mother of one child who said that, you know, these sessions at the Bostey actually really helped her kid because she felt really isolated, having to stay home during the pandemic.
Wow.
So yeah, it was just so I felt really I don't know what the word is. I was just so happy to be there, and I'm really proud of what the kids made.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Joe. And I say it was great. Again, you know, just to give everybody a feel of this project over the last few weeks and months, really, we've all been meeting once a week, wherever we are in the world. We came together, we shared our journey, what was going well in the sessions, who we were working with, what we were creating, what we needed to then do to work together to make that particular artistic piece come together. So it's had a very sort of strong artistic and production journey. So we're coming near to the end now, actually, on our journey here. I'm going to take you back to the map that Cheryl actually animated for us, because I think we know it pretty well now in some way. So again, listeners on radio, just to let you know that this is a map that has different places on it. And we're now, where are we walking to?
We're going
now?
back to the beach because that's where I want to be all day.
Yeah, actually, it's sunny here
Yes,
for
it
us,
is.
actually, in the northeast. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. It has a very sort of warm weather sometimes, but I do know I remember a friend coming over from Portugal, and we took him in March. Peter will remember this, to the beach, and we had a heat wave in March. This is 4 years ago, and he went, wow, and he took his shoes and socks off and he ran into the sea, and I'm shouting, it's the North Sea. And he only lasted literally seconds.
Yep.
I was terrified he was going to have a heart attack, actually, because the sea was so cold. But anyway, here we are. We've come back to the beach. And the beach, I'd like to introduce Magpie's work here. Magpie is an echo artist that's worked with us for many years. This is a particularly fascinating piece from Magpie. He is very into mythology, and he wants to look at the refugee as the hero of the story rather than the victim. He wants us to go on a journey where the refugee is the hero because of the resilience, the survival, but to make new things happen. And what's incredible is that Magpie's actually learned some Norse language. And so in this piece called The Sacrifice, you will hear some of this beautiful Norse language and then the sung translation from our vocalist Quinn. So here is The Sacrifice by Magpie and Quinn. And we're going to have some of Kev's beautiful images again for those of you with us on Zoom.
Thim hassel, thim fecky artsvillig, viljelda, åtamber, flåth, synhedjata, glimmerera, en björndir, hamask, berserker, hamask, hulfethin, hamlama, drenga, Odins gift, Hega, sem silky, stävfasta sem, that is stimmes.
I see your face in the crowd. Why is your head low and bowed? When you should be standing proud. Why is your silence so loud? Now I know, now I know. Now I know, now I know. Your strength comes from the ground. Why was your brain always drowned? When your voice is so profound. In your sacrifice I have found.
I kneel to the gods to say a prayer, a rituals you cannot begin to compare. You cannot walk alone, you walk through the darkest of despair. I'm right there with you when the eyes begin to stare. The animosity is palpable, can feel it in the air. The general public are ignorant, completely unaware. As we step into the unknown, you can hold on to me.
Hold on to me. Hold on to me. Your sacrifice, your strength of will, wildfire untamed, floods your heart, fierce as a bear, changeful bear shirt, changeful wolf coat, shape strong warrior. Odin's gift, gentle as silk, steadfast as winter storm. I see your face in the crowd. Why is your head low and bowed when you should be standing proud? Why is your silence so loud? Now I know, now I know. Now I know, now I know. Your strength comes from the ground. Why was your brain always drowned? When your voice is so profound, in your sacrifice I have found.
I kneel to the gods to say a prayer, arrangements you cannot begin to compare. You cannot walk alone, you walk through the darkest of despair. I'm right there with you when the eyes begin to stare. The animosity is palpable, can feel it in the air. The general public are ignorant, completely unaware. As we step into the unknown, you can hold on to me.
Hold on to me. Hold on to me.
Wow. That was really, really good. You know, as always, amazing vocals from Quinn. And also what I really liked is how much commitment Magpie took to actually learning that Norse language to put it into this piece. And that was really, really impressive. I really enjoyed that.
And he had to really work at it. And that image of me holding the phone is actually holding the lyrics back to him, because he was really speaking it from, we wanted to get the emotionality, you know, through every word.
Yeah.
And it really spoke to me about language. You know, again, this assumption, you land somewhere, and I think we're terribly arrogant as people who speak English as a first language, just expecting people to speak English, when actually what I've respected so much is often the people I'm getting to know speak 3-4 languages, or have learnt language so quickly, you know, and it gives me a lot of that feeling of inadequacy because of the fact that we're lazy sometimes, to be perfectly honest.
We are.
So well done. You know, I really respect when people are, you know, are able to learn another language and to speak in my first language, English. Thank you for doing that, really. So where do we go? We're really at the end now, aren't we?
We are.
Where are we going to go back?
I think we should go back to the woods.
To the woods?
Yes.
Okay, come on, we're going to go back to the woods. So again, in radio listeners, we are going on our footsteps. I think I've got the bare feet now here, and I think you've got the footsteps to the woods. And here in the woods, you'll hear a dog bark, because that's one of ours, because we're actually zooming from our home. We put the dog in to just bark at that particular point in the woods. On cue, she says. I don't know if you can hear that, listeners, on the radio, but yes, we are going into the woods to actually be more reflective now, because the last two pieces we've saved deliberately to give a feeling of more reflection, really, of some of the powerful, thought-provoking, uplifting, poignant sort of reflections that we've had in the artworks and the journeys that we've been on. We'd like you, listeners, and also those of you on Zoom, to just to have a moment to almost like picture yourselves under a tree, or in a place like a little meadow that's near a wood, somewhere that you just feel is safe and is comfortable. And we'd like you to have a listen to this next piece by Quinn. It's a sung poem, and it's called By Your Side. And it's in response to loneliness and pain. But actually, no matter how what and whatever somebody is going through, we hope somebody will understand and want to support you. So we're going to hear this piece, and then we're just going to do a little bit of reflection from everybody, and then we've got a really beautiful piano piece to finish with. So here's Quinn Green's By Your Side.
You've made mistakes, don't we all? It sits and stirs inside your mind. You tell yourself it's all your fault. Those chosen words you can't unwind. Focus on the bad times, you linger on the past. You wish you hadn't spoken, felt awkward when you left. Somehow and some way you feel so low you cannot speak. We've all had those days. Over all the little things no one else can see. To you it seems so big, it makes you want to flee. stop yourself from having dreams. You make yourself so small. You want to be invisible. The same time you don't at all. Sorry that you feel this way. You must feel so much pain. And the reason that I know is because I am the same. It's a lonely world sometimes, thinking they don't understand. But I promise there is a hand. You don't walk alone. Somehow, in some way, we'll make it through the dark with better days ahead. Somehow, in some way, we'll make it through the dark with better days ahead. I promise you, you don't walk alone. I'm by your side. I'm by your side. I'm by your side.
Wow, beautifully written and performed by Quinn. I really, really, really enjoy that piece. You know, that got me actually in a really reflective kind of state. And could we get the audience up? What I would like to know is how have people felt so far just being on this journey today? For me personally, you know, it's really important to hear these stories and just hear different perspective of other people's life and what they're going through. And it helps me change my attitude towards things. And I've really, really, really enjoyed today. Has anyone got any thoughts about today so far?
A chance for you, people who are joining us and still with us. It's lovely to see you all still on Zoom with us. It's great, and we know that our listeners on radio are also with us. Just to read out some of the chats, we've got well done everyone, great work and very important work. We've got some lovely reflections here from about the Bostey animations. I don't know where those kids get their ideas from, but I love it. Well done, kids. We've also got a beautiful poem here. Hattie's put in. The children of humanity are each other's limbs, what shares an origin in their creator. When one limb passes its days, its pain, the other limbs cannot remain easy. You who feel no pain at the suffering of others, it is not fitting to be called human. Oh, it's yeah, Sadi Shahrazi. Thank you, Shahrazi. Thank you, Hadi, for that. So we've got a fantastic piece, and Kev's photos are just incredible. Actually, I can see Kev's here. Kev, what about just a quick word from you? Because you've been involved and brought a new insight into this project. But a quick word from you.
Yeah, it's, I guess for myself, this is the first time I've heard and seen everything actually come together. So one of the things when I'm photographing is I'm concentrating on getting the image, getting the connections between the people and getting that work as it's kind of developing. And I'm only getting snapshots of that development and the changes that are going on, because my concentration's in one place to sort of like get a really true good reflective set of images of what the workshop's doing and of what.
So when you see it all come together now, just in a sense, what does it feel like now to see it all come together?
I'm sat here with goosebumps going up and down my spine, and I'm really, really incredibly blown away, to be honest with you. I think each of the pieces are just outstanding. You know, every story that's been told, the poems, the music, the words, everything it's just an incredible set of work, and it's just come together so beautifully, and it flows. It's really cohesive.
Yeah, I feel that there has been a cohesiveness through all the pieces, and I think to add to your thank you so much, because you've been in a really important part for us, Kevin, how you managed to remain so invisible during these processes and then send us these I think we've all got computers that have got rather a lot of space needing freeing up again from all the wee transfers of the hundreds of images, but the joy of looking through them, you know. And I just suppose this is where we take you, an audience and our listeners now, to the end, really, where this work isn't finished at all. It feels like it's the beginning of the next journey. But there's so much to be said about how we've journeyed together, and every single person has played such a unique part in that journey. So before we come to the very end, I'd like to just play a piece now called Independent Together. That is from our volunteer composer who works with us and has worked with us many years. And his piece is called, as I say, Independent Together. And it's about the importance of being unique. We mustn't forget we are unique people. I see Kema nodding away here next to me. We can also celebrate, though, that through diversity, we can still be unique. And this way of welcoming people to our lives, including refugees. And so we just really want to play this piece that explores where sometimes our footsteps and our pathways do intertwine to actually make us stronger on our journey. So here we go. I'm going to now play for you Independent Together by Tom Spence. And we're going to include some of Kev's beautiful images on this as well.
Wow.
Beautiful, isn't it?
What a beautiful piece done by Tom Spence. That was really amazing. I love the title as well, Independent Together. And just listening to that, it just really took me on that journey. I've had such a good time being here at the event today. I hope, can everyone just give a wave so I know everyone's still with us? That's great.
Fantastic.
It's been such an amazing event, and for me, just being here and being part of this journey and hearing people's stories and the artwork and working with people, and it just feels like we're all one big family. You know, I just love feeling connected with everyone, and even just being here today in person, you know, we're not alone.
Absolutely. And we hope that wherever you are in the world, wherever you're tuning in from, that you feel that connection with us. Skimstone Arts are an organisation that supports diverse artists, communities and individuals, and those at risk of social isolation, to create work with, for and about the world that matters to them, and the learning that we have and the privilege that we have for all the different communities. So it is time to say a big thank you to those people who've made this nearly 2-hour event, which is the case for nearly all our events now, to happen. I really want to thank the commitment of all the artists. I really want to thank Peter Saaremets and Simon Tarrant and Samuel Lamptey, Nikwatilai, Kev Howard, John Pope, obviously yourself, Kema, and Nikwati, for the commitment that you have shown very much to the artists and the co-creators and the young people in the Young Artists Collective and Echo Artists. I want to thank the Yak and the Echo too. I want to thank Nicole and Tom and Magpie and Anna, Quinn, Maddie, Haddy, Harry and Arthur for the contributions that you've made. I'd like to thank our co-collaborators and the learning that we've had with Smio and Chadney, and particularly to Akko and Shaho, and to Loretta, Stephen, and those at the Bostey. I'd like to thank all our partners as well that have supported this, for Mine Mission Initiative Northeast, who've allowed us to have the space at Byker, as well as the Bostey and our other partners as well. We must thank the production team of Claire Cockroft, who got all that comms out, to Christina and Annalisa and Joe, the production team themselves. I'd like to thank all our funders, Arts Council England. I'd like to thank Garfield Western, Youth Music, Newcastle City Council and the Community Foundation Tyne and Weir. And I'd like to thank you, our amazing audience, to find the time to come and be on this journey with us, and our listeners. We do feel you're there. We've had some amazing feedback come in, and remember, the feedback is because we believe in the work, we believe in the people we work with. This isn't about, we want to know how, you know, great if you think Skimstone Arts is. It's not about that for us. It's how does this work shift, change, make a difference in the world to others and maybe to ourselves. I really would like to thank I've got a special quote here from somebody called Claire, who says, "This is very powerful on radio. Thank you so much to listen to this really thought-provoking work. Really appreciate that." So do send your feedback in the chat. If you're willing, could you just put a little bit about how you knew about the event, why you came, and what you thought of it? It would just be great to have a little feel from our audience about, you know, why you chose to come today. So finally, as we go back onto the map and we listen to the ensemble band play us out, this is a wave to every single refugee in this world, every single one. You are not forgotten. We hold you in our hearts. So here's a wave and a hug, and to all of us across the world who just believe in humanity and smiles and sunshine, take care, and thank you so much for being with us.
Sky above, hope there's people showing love. Follow a place. Why do I walk for many miles? Seek a sanctuary of smiles. Dry all my tears. I look to the sky above. Hope there's people showing love. Follow a place. Why do I walk for many miles? Seek a sanctuary of smiles. Dry all my tears.
listen and see? This was no choice for me. Will you take my hand in this strange, strange land? Will you listen and see? This was no choice for me. Will you take my hand in this strange, strange land? What is it I want to change, to understand and rearrange our view of humanity? Walk along to you.
Okay, we're going to come to the end of our Zoom event now, and I just can't thank my co-host enough. I realised, Kema, I hadn't thanked you. You're absolutely wonderful to present with. We're going to close the Zoom. We have recorded this. It will go up on our website. Take care of yourselves. Keep safe, and thank you again for joining us today.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Somebody save in the chat.
I'll do that now.
Oh dear, what's happening there? I'll just find. I have to. There we go. Started again of its own accord. Okay, so I think we've just got the artists and team left. You're probably all starving. I don't know about you, but I said, oh yes, this is going to be an hour and a half. And then I thought about Ni Kwati Uru going, it's never going to be an hour. So, Akko, Anna, people have gone now, apart from just those of us. Do you want to say hello? We've just safely
Are we still
into
live on radio?
No, have we finished radio now, Ni? Have we come off? Yeah. Ni Kwati?
We're off.
Okay. No, we're off. So I'm not sure who Gio
We are
is.
off.
We're offline. We're offline. So the only person I don't know who it is the person with. So Anna, I'm assuming that's our Anna. Yeah. And Akko and Loretta. Yeah. So Gio, I don't know who you are. Could you just put in the chat function who you are, just so that we keep everybody knowing who everyone's with us on this last bit. Because the other thing I can do is possibly to stop the Zoom and we could set up a new Zoom for a quick reflection. Okay. Okay, I'll tell you what, it's okay. We're going to keep this down to just a few seconds, I think, really, because you're probably all really, really tired. It's fine if somebody's there. It's not, yeah. Just any thoughts? Are you all right? I suppose is a feel. You're all okay? We're shattered up. Pretty tired actually, but yeah. Oh, there we go. Look, Joe's gone off. I'm not going to bring them back in because I don't know who they are. You put them in the waiting room. That's fine. Any thoughts from anybody? And then I think probably we'll leave it till next Thursday to do the full reflection. But just does anybody want to say anything at this point? Oh, Loretta, unmute. Go on, Loretta. Loretta, unmute. Oh, you're unmuted. Why can't I hear Loretta?
I'll ask you to say something.
Loretta? I can't hear you. I'm ever so sorry.
Say something, Loretta.
Okay.
Well done, everyone. That was incredible. Amazing amount of work.
Yeah.
Very,
it was so wonderful to see everyone's work together.
Yeah.
And like I think it was Kev said, it was also coherent.
Yeah.
Did it feel it flowed okay from one piece? Because it was so respectful of each piece.
The map was fantastic, and the way that interlinked, it was really good.
Yeah, it worked nicely, didn't it? The animated map bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Claire, any thoughts from you?
I thought it was brilliant. As Joe said, it's just
after all this time about hearing about the different projects, it's lovely to see them all the end results, and they were all absolutely amazing. I think it was a really nice mixture of kind of uplifting, fun stuff from the Bostey and powerful, hard-hitting stories and everything in between. So
yeah,
well done, everyone.
Different arc. Akko, do you want to say anything? You don't have to. This is just a little group now. This is just Skimstone Arts. It's not the public. Might not want to. It's fine. Anna.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Hi. Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that chance. We make something with Skimstone. I'm really proud of everyone of Skimstone, and we're looking forward to doing something for refugee or for all the people, hopefully. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone. Thank you for doing hard work, especially for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Akko's already got the C part 2. We know what we're doing, don't we, Akko? We'll work on that one, which will be really exciting. Anna, anything from you? No. Yeah?
Just give.
Okay, no worries. Just a massive thank you to all of you. I really, really appreciate the hard work that you've all put in, and to keep all the momentum going as well. So I've got hair in my eye. Just one thing, I think just for future reference for everybody, because my head's going on with so much, can somebody just remember to record? I sort of relied a little bit on 5 others to just record. So please, can we make sure that happens next time? Because I think we missed the beginning.
I think we just missed the trick as a team, though, because you need to announce it to people on Zoom if it's going to be. So it needs to be planned in.
But I think if we just record anyway, then we can always announce it, because you couldn't actually see people. But it's fine, because I think we've caught it on radio. So we could actually put that in from radio, and I can just put the timeline into that. So that's my only thing, really. Yeah, so I tell you what, we'll leave it there, because I think we're all pretty tired, and I feel really, I feel really honoured about this piece. Actually, I'm quite emotional, you could probably tell at one point, but I think it's really lovely that it's gone out to the world and as it is. So thank you so much, and we'll see as many of you at the evaluation picnic next Thursday. We know that some of you will be coming in on Zoom, but it'd be great. So just enjoy your time off. Yes, it is. It's time off. Yes, promise. So your Skimstone can go out of your life for a bit, but I look forward to catching up with some of you. And we will be back in touch with you, Kev, as well. We're talking next Thursday about sort of moving forward. So go and enjoy some of this sunshine. Claire, you look like you need a cocktail now. You do. You look really there you go. You see, it's fabulous. Actually, we're going to go and have a beer in the garden. Yes. So thank you all, every single one of you, all of you. I'm looking at every one of you on this map, on this gallery, for just being so amazing. It's a whole group effort. Yes, take care. Everybody. Look after yourselves, and I look forward to catching up with you.
Go and enjoy the sun.
Guys.
Yes. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.